Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. We appreciate you guys coming on with us as usual. Let's see if I can say hello to a few folks here. Always fun having you on. Okay, as you get your notifications, good morning to you. Okay, I'm all ready on my end. And let's see if you get notifications. There we go. Okay, let me see. Lynn from Sprucedale. Lisa, good morning. Brahim, there you are, my friend. Suli, Sandy, Carrie from Nebraska. April, Nativity, Rosa, Nick from our staff. Dennis, Norwich, Denise. Good morning from Chatham, Kent. Maryland. Diane, how are you? From LaSalle. Judy from Mitchell. Bruno, Marl, Nick, good morning. Patricia, Windsor. Rosalinda, good morning from Niagara Falls. Sandy, Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Nellie, good morning. Doc McEwen, dear friend from West Tennessee. Wanda, Virginia. Wanda from Ridgeway. 2 Wandas right in a row. How do you like that? Karen, Innisfil. Rita, good morning. Andrea's in the clouds this morning. Niagara Falls, right, Andrea? Rose, good morning. Mary, New Brunswick. Vanda, PEI, good morning to you. Frida. Brenda from Bancroft. How are you, Brenda? Dave, Cardiff. Linda. We love Lindas, don't we? New Brunswick. Because they listen. Lori. Gertie, how are you? From Burlington. Bonnie. Francis, good morning. Rita, New Brunswick. Lee's from Sudbury. Never heard of it. Where is Sudbury? Okay. Cindy. Nicole from Magog, Quebec. Bonjour. Carmel from Newfoundland. Bonnie, love you guys. Debbie, Sturgeon Falls. Dale, good morning. Rita says she's floating here. Georgie. Halifax, Nova Scotia in the clouds. Sylvia, good morning from Moncton. Kristen, saying good morning to Cindy. I like when you guys say hello to each other. Fran, you were Fran was in the clouds too this morning. Good morning, everyone. From Anne, Milika, Donna from Park Hill, Judy, couple more. Catherine, Springdale, Newfoundland. Marianne from London. Connie, listen, Linda, you're right. Leela from Werner. Maria from Portugal. How are you, Maria? Have a good trip over there. Linda from St. Jude, Quebec. Mary from Anaheim, California. And saying hello to her cousins, Dave and Helga in Scarborough. I love that. Dave, Karen, Sault Ste. Marie. John from Elgin, Illinois. Gloria from New York. Hazel from St. John's, Newfoundland. I've got so many here. Micheline. Patricia from Florida. Davina, how are you? And Connie says she's from Sudbury too. Okay, Heidi, Deb, Faye, Linda. Oh, you guys are beautiful. Lorraine. Okay, let's get going. Okay, what is my topic this morning? I want to talk about the thyroid. Okay? And the reason I want to talk about it because it's so common. Why do we get, and by the way, you know what I'm drinking this morning? Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. And the reason I just want to talk about this, give me 5 seconds of this, okay? This is a great thing, Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie, not only for you, but your kids or your grandchildren. It is so good for them. You want a heavy, fat, protein, drink, send your kids to school, your grandchildren to school with something they love and something that is fantastic. Okay? You're not always going to make bacon and eggs for them. If they want something to drink, make them Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie with heavy cream. Okay? Heavy cream. That's what I got in here. You can put some yogurt in there. You can put some bone broth protein, which is the best protein in the world because it's collagen protein, good for their gut, good for their brain, and they'll love it because it'll taste like a milkshake at McDonald's without the sugar in it. And if you want to sweeten it for kids, okay, I used to get my patients to do this all the time. Put in a teaspoon or a tablespoon of pure, okay, honey, okay, pure honey. Why honey? Well, it's got to be pure. It's got to be unpasteurized, okay, no fake stuff, the real thing. It's because honey is full of nutrients. Now, look, if you got trouble with insulin and you're part of the 93% that have trouble with insulin resistance, you got to be very careful with honey. Even though it is natural, it's good. It's got a lot of properties to it that are very good for you and health. But you can put it in a kid's smoothie, no problem at all. Unpasteurized, natural honey, okay, for sweetness. School's coming up. I said, why I'm talking about it, okay? You want to start their day, heavy cream. Why? Because it's fat and their brain needs fat. And put it, you can, like I say, add a protein powder. I like the, that tastes good. Imagine tasting good and being good for you. Yeah, because that's what you need, especially for kids. But I'm a big baby too. I like good tasting things. Okay. Now, let's get back to the thyroid. Okay? There were two major reasons that so many people today, two major reasons that so many people today have trouble with their thyroid. The vast majority of women have trouble with their thyroid. Thyroid, think gas pedal in your car. Metabolism. It is so key. Now, what do we teach about the thyroid? It's like a puppet. It's got a lot of strings attached to it. Why do we see so much trouble with the thyroid today? There's some major reasons for it. One of them, your thyroid does not work properly. Okay, the gas pedal in your car won't work properly without the right nutrients. This little organ here, okay, I'm pointing to my throat area, right? Butterfly-shaped little organ there is so dependent on nutrients. If you were to ask the general public, okay, just give them a questionnaire. You know how I like to do that. And I ask them, or you ask them, what nutrient is essential for the thyroid? They might get that answer because they'll go, iodine? Yep. And they would be right. But they're not completely right. Because it's much more complex than that. Your thyroid needs, okay, I've written down 9 things that your thyroid needs to work properly, and I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Yes, it needs iodine. And iodine isn't in the soil like it used to be. So that's an issue. Okay? That's an issue. But, and you guys know this because I talk about this second one all the time. It's called selenium. Your thyroid doesn't work without it. You need selenium. And someone on maybe last week, or might have been even the week before, on Q&A, was asking the question why their friend was eating Brazilian nuts, right? Well, it's got selenium in it. Yeah, it does. Okay, but that's not complete. That's the problem. Like Brazilian nuts or Brazil nuts, they're good. I'm not saying you can't. You're not a squirrel, so I'm not telling you to live on it. But if you like them and you're going to want to have a couple of Brazilian nuts a day, I don't care. But that ain't going to fix the thyroid from working properly. Yes, it will give you selenium. But you know what's a lot better is a steak. Because that gives you a better selenium. Okay? Anyway, so you need iodine, you need selenium, you need protein and fat. You need, your thyroid depends on all the essential amino acids. Remember, guys, I used to measure thyroid in my office. I didn't guess, I tested. Now, before I even saw a patient, they had to fill out a questionnaire. You didn't come into my office. I used to tell patients, well, I didn't, but my staff would tell patients, you got to get here at least 45 minutes ahead of time. Why? Because you're going to fill out a lot of paperwork. And it wasn't because I wanted your personal information. I wanted your medical information. And I had a huge questionnaire that you had to fill out. Why? Because I was very important that I knew you personally. And that questionnaire, like some of it was redundant a little bit, but I used to tell my patients, hey, suck it up, buttercup, and fill it out. Because you're going to realize when you, and I actually put them in categories. Here's a thyroid questionnaire. And they were amazed at that. I didn't know that had anything to do with the thyroid. Yeah, it does. So the thyroid relies on protein, amino acids. It relies on fat. And the world went stupid, didn't it? In the 80s, it went stupid. Fat makes you fat. Fat and cholesterol, bad for your heart. It clogs up your arteries, says the nutcases. And you know what happened with that? The world went silly. The world went stupid. They stopped eating fat. Everything was fat-free, including their yogurts. And your thyroid, you know, and a lot of them did it to lose weight, and they found, oh, gee, I don't lose weight at all. It's worse than ever. Why? Well, you're not feeding your thyroid. You're not feeding your gas pedal. Your thyroid doesn't work properly. It doesn't work properly without magnesium. It doesn't. And that's important. Magnesium. Your thyroid needs it. Like a lot of other things need it, but your thyroid needs it. It needs zinc. Your thyroid needs zinc to work properly. Again, think about it. And you guys who have been following me for a long time know this. I love zinc. That's why I love steak. Where do you get zinc? Eggs, meat, and cheese. And especially in steak. Your thyroid loves steak. Why? Selenium. Why? Amino acids. Why? Fat. Why? Protein. Why? Zinc. Here's another one. B12. Yeah, the thyroid needs B12. What a crisis that is today. The lack of B12. Most people are walking around and they only have enough B12 for a mouse. It's amazing. It's incredible. And you know what's happened? Doctors trained in the era of my father, they all knew about B12. Today, B12, like you're talking Greek to a doctor about B12. It's amazing. They don't know it. Why do you need B12? Like, just try and get a physician today to give you a B12 shot. Like, why? Unless you got 0 on your blood work, you don't need B12. They don't. Your body doesn't work without B12. And how do you eat B12? Steak. Sun, steak, and steel. Steak. Your body doesn't work without it. B12, you guys hear me all the time. Your thyroid will not work up to snuff without B12. Listen, I have thousands of people supplementing with B12 every day. Every day they take it. Why? They found out they don't do well without it. And they may not have the intrinsic, like B12 is a finicky vitamin at the start. Like it is if you study B12, the molecular structure of it, it's finicky. You need everything to be working properly to get the right levels of B12 when you eat. Okay? It's finicky because it's a large structure molecule. Plus, in your stomach, everything's got to be working in there. You got to be making the intrinsic factor and your digestive juices, your acidity. They got to be right at the top of your game. You need a very acidic stomach. And the thyroid relies on that B12. So years ago, what did we do? What did the world do? Red meat, bad. Okay? The memo went out. Red meat, bad, because red meat, acidic. Even today, guys, even today, you wouldn't want to have a vote. You wouldn't want to have a vote with the world out there and show them a salad versus a steak. Okay? A salad versus a steak. You wouldn't want to have a vote because they go, well, salad is better. Now, a lot of people would say, I like steak better, but I know I have to limit that. Because look at the fat on it. Can't be good for you. Yeah, sure is. As a matter of fact, your thyroid will not work. Why do you think tens of thousands of people over the years that have done the reset have found that their metabolism has been given a kickstart? You know why? Because they're eating eggs, and lots of them, and they're eating meat and lots of it, especially red. Okay? Like chicken, okay. It's all right. It's good for you. But not like red meat. Not like a steak. Okay? And tens of thousands of people who did the reset, 30 days, they kick-started that thyroid again. A lot of them had hypothyroid. And they didn't even know it in a way, because a lot of them just said, well, gee, I can't lose weight. I don't feel good. My hair, my nails, my skin. I'm dragging my butt. Well, that's thyroid. That's thyroid. You need, even your thyroid needs iron. Not spinach. Iron from steak. Heme iron, Heme, is the iron that your thyroid needs. You don't get that in spinach. You don't. You get iron. You can have even blackstrap molasses. Okay? But that ain't a steak. Because it's not heme iron. Heme iron is found in red meat. A steak, roast beef, hamburger. Do you understand? Guys, your thyroid depends on it. I watched it in my office. I mean, over the years, thousands and thousands of patients, especially women, not only women, but especially women. And because I'll get into the second read. I'm only talking about nutrients first, okay? So let me finish, okay? Tyrosine, that's an amino acid. Guess where it's found? Yeah, steak. Oh. And vitamin D. Your thyroid needs vitamin. Is there any organ in your body that doesn't need vitamin D? And everybody, oh, the sun, going to give you cancer. Well, I'll tell you what. If you don't get enough sun, you better be taking vitamin D. Because your thyroid and everything else, including your immune system, depends on it. It's nutrients, guys. And vitamin D, by the way, is different. It's a different puppy. Why? Well, it's a hormone. Okay, we call it a vitamin, but it's really a hormone. And your thyroid depends on it. So think about that. Why did we see so much thyroid problems? Well, number one, nutrient deficiencies. Absolutely. And when you started feeding that thyroid with the right nutrients, it was amazing what happened. It's amazing what happened. Okay? Now, second reason. First reason, nutrient deficiency. Okay? Second reason, hormones. Ladies, how many times I saw women in my office measuring their hormones, and they had a condition called estrogen dominance. It's amazing to me. It really is amazing to me how we are in 2025 and we still have the misdiagnosis. You know what, guys? Ladies, medicine is still a man's world. It is. Women get shortchanged in medicine because they still, even today, don't understand a woman's body properly. And there's a condition today that is unbelievable in numbers, in women. Men too, but women mostly. It's called estrogen dominance. Too much estrogen. And remember now, guys, okay? Because the worst thing that happens is doctors go, well, wait a minute. You're perimenopausal. You're menopausal. Your estrogen is too low. No, it's not. No, it's not. If you're just relying on blood tests, of course your estrogen is going down. But it's a teeter-totter. It's estrogen, progesterone. A woman feels wonderful when they're equal. And what happens, okay, with our environment, every chemical, every plastic, every air freshener, every cleaner, just about, they're all full of xenoestrogen. You can't run away from it. You can't get away from it. People are talking. I listened to a video yesterday of someone saying, well, don't handle plastic and don't do this and don't do that. Okay. The only thing is that I don't care what you do. In this sense, you're not getting away from the invasion of xenoestrogen. You're not just going to get away from it. You can't, unless you're going to Mars with Elon Musk. If you live on the planet, if your address ends with planet Earth, you're surrounded by xenoestrogens. And ladies and gentlemen, but ladies, it really affects your thyroid. What? It affects your thyroid. More than a man's thyroid. Let me explain. When estrogen is dominant compared to progesterone, okay? Compared to progesterone, there's a major effect that occurs. Estrogen dominance will not allow the conversion of T4 to T3. T3 is the actual hormone that your thyroid needs to work properly. You're dominant in estrogen, and you're dominant because you don't have enough progesterone. Okay? And that slows your thyroid to a crawl. And let me give you another whammo that hammers your thyroid. You got estrogen dominance, your progesterone hasn't kept up with it. Yeah, your estrogen might have come down, but your progesterone sunk like the Titanic. And then you have another factor. This is really, really, really important. You learn this, I'm not going to say in the first day of medical school, but you do learn it, then they forget it. When your adrenals are secreting cortisol, okay? Adrenal on top of your kidneys. It's secreting cortisol. What's cortisol? That's cortisol. The fight or flight. You're stressed. It continues. It's a saga in your life. Stress. It was amazing to me. Guys, in the last 15 years of my practice, I couldn't get over the two hormones, insulin and cortisol. How much worse cortisol was than ever. And cortisol, you need it, but it's not meant to have a full-time job. Wired but tired. Here's what cortisol does. Okay? When it goes on for too much, it robs progesterone. You need progesterone to make cortisol. Did you hear what I said? Ladies, especially. This is why you get so much estrogen dominance. Because progesterone is already low, and then you're stressed, and your adrenals, they gotta steal your progesterone. And now your dominance of estrogen's even worse. Guess what? Your thyroid, it slows to a crawl. A crawl. You gain weight and you're mad at your husband. You know how many times in our weight loss clinic, couples would come in together and they both get on the program, okay? In the days when I had a weight loss clinic, okay? It was a division of my clinic, okay? A weight loss part of it. We had coaches and everything, okay? And women, they were mad at their husbands. Why? We put them on the reset and we would give them, anyway, we followed them and then they'd come in every week to get weighed, okay? And you know what? The wife was mad. My husband lost more weight than me. I want to know why, Dr. Martin. Right? I said, well, you're too much of a woman. What? You got too much estrogen. Your progesterone is lower than your estrogen. Your estrogen makes you a woman. It's a beautiful thing. Except when it's dominant, well, estrogen is a growth hormone. It likes to hold on to fat. I said, it ain't your fault. You're a woman. And then we measured your cortisol. Your cortisol, your stress hormone, is high. I had a few women say, well, look to the right of me and see why I'm stressed. And I'd look, and there was their husband. He stresses me out. I used to get a chuckle in my office. Think about it. But anyway, you see, it's a double whammo. Now the thyroid slows to a crawl. And look, the reset is what you need to do. Anyways, we used to get them, look, don't give up. Dr. Martin, I only lost 5 pounds. My husband lost 10. Yeah. But 5 pounds of fat is really, really, really good for you. Don't be too hard on yourself. You've got hormones. Hormones. So that's a huge issue, guys. Too much estrogen compared to progesterone. Add cortisol in the mix, the stress hormone, and the thyroid sinks. Just a fact. It's the way it works. Okay? So you need nutrients for that thyroid to work properly. Don't let anybody fool you. Okay? Don't let anybody fool you. You need nutrients for your thyroid to work properly. It depends on it. And it also depends on balancing your hormones, your estrogen and progesterone. And one of the best ways, remember, to dim out your estrogen. It doesn't mean you won't have any estrogen left. Okay? It doesn't mean that. It just means you're balancing. That's why I like flax seeds and dimming it out. That's why the menopausal formula. I got men on menopausal formula because of dim. Okay? Anywho, nutrients and hormones, an imbalance, and you got the thyroid slowing to a crawl. Don't rely just on blood work. Because if you do that, okay, I got taught this as a young practitioner. Symptoms trump blood work when it comes to thyroid. Okay? And doctors, if they would only listen, Linda and Larry doctors, if they would only listen. Anyways, it's hard to change a leper's spots. Okay, guys, Friday is what? Q&A. Okay? So get your questions in, info@martinclinic.com. Send them in. You might have questions about your thyroid. Send them in. If you want them to be heard on Q&A Fridays, sometimes Mondays, great, send it in. We love you. Okay. Thanks, guys, for being the best audience in the world. Talk to you soon.